Have you heard about our glorious Raqia? No? Perhaps you know it better under its English name, firmament. The reason I prefer to use Hebrew is because the English falls short of showing the full meaning of the word. In the original Hebrew, each letter represents a picture, and each picture has a functional meaning. And when the different pictures are put together, it forms a new word. Each letter in the Hebrew language is a picture from either agriculture or biology. The concept is so simple, children can understand it. Let me show you with a few easy words. The first word is Av, in English, father. It consists of two letters, an aleph and a bet. The aleph represents an ox, and its function is strength, power, first, and God. The second letter is a bet, and it represents a house. So the word picture for father is a strong house. And that's the function of a father, to be the strength of his house. You might be wondering what the use of this is. Well, let me show you how something abstract can become tangible and concrete. Every Christian knows the expression to bear good fruit, as seen in Matthew 7:17-18 and Luke 6:43. But what does it mean? After some thought, most Christians can give the abstract version of the right answer, but they can't explain how they came to that understanding in a simple way. To get a clear picture, we can look at the Hebrew word for fruit. The word is peri. It consists of three letters. The first is a pei, and it represents a mouth, and its function is to speak. The second letter is a resh, and it is a head, and its function is the character and authority of a person. The last is a yod, and it is an arm, and its function is to work. So the word for fruit means what you say, what you think, and what you do. Now back to the word Raqia. Before diving into the pictographic meaning, let's look at the etymological dictionary definition of the word. Extended surface, expanse, firmament, sky. From the root word reka, and that literally means something beaten out. From this, we know that the firmament is something that Yahweh beat out, like a metalworker making a helmet out of a flat sheet of steel. In Bereshit 1:7, and Elohim made the Raqia, and divided the waters which were under the Raqia from the waters which were above the Raqia, and it was so. Already we can see a new picture forming in our understanding of this verse. Now when we take and combine it with the word picture, everything will come together in one complete picture. The word Raqia consists of a resh that we have already learned means the character and authority of a person. In this case, it's the character and authority of Yahweh, the one who made the firmament. The next letter is a kuf, and it is the heart and meaning of the word. It represents the sun on the horizon or the back of a man's head. This carries the meaning and function of a secular action. It can also represent a dome or an arch, but it does not represent a sphere. And when we abstract it back out, it can mean Yahweh's Moedim. And in the case of this word picture, the Moedim can be seen in the form of the sun, moon, and stars. The Yod means to work, and in this case it represents the movement of the heavens. And the Ein represents an eye, and its function is to see or perceive. Yahweh placed the heavens out of our reach so man could not change or manipulate them, and in so doing he has created an everlasting, unchanging reminder that we can all see and follow his Moedim. So when we put it all together, we get a remarkable picture of Yahweh in his authority beating out a dome to separate the waters from the waters. Then he placed his Moedim in the dome, in the form of the sun, moon, and stars, for every person to see and understand, so that we can follow Yahweh's appointed festivals. Now let's look at one last word. It is the biblical word for blue, techelet. Blue in scripture is the color attributed symbolically to Elohim. Techelet is the color that is used in the thread of a tzitzit. It is also the color of the sky and the ocean. It is the color of royalty. The word begins and ends with the letter Tav. Tav is the picture of two cross sticks, and it represents a sign, a mark, or covenant. The middle two letters is a Kaf and a Lamed, and together they spell the word kol, and kol means everything or all. If you look at each letter individually, the Qaf is the palm of a hand, and it represents a hand opening to or to cover and protect. The Lamed is a shepherd's staff, and it represents teaching and instruction. The word Kol is the hand opening to instruction. So when we place it between the two toms, we have the covenant surrounding everything, or the covenant surrounding the hand opening to instruction. Now if we abstract out the picture, we know that the word Techelet represents blue, and when we look upon the blue in its tzitzit, we are to see the covenant between us and Yahweh. We also know that it represents the sky and the ocean. So if we look at this picture in the physical sense, we can see how it shows the waters that were separated above us in the sky and below us in the ocean, with everything in between being our domain. This word shows us that we cannot reach past the depths of the ocean or the firmament of the sky. And when we look upon these boundaries, we are to remember Yahweh's Torah.